Hello and welcome back to the channel. In the last lecture, we have ran our first Spark streaming application. So in this lecture, we are going to learn how it works under the hood and all our steps gets executed. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so now let's learn about how our Spark streaming jobs get executed under the hood when you submit your streaming query. So once you kick off your job, these are the steps which transpires in the engine. Let's talk about them one by one. So the first one will be the user code which we submit, then there is a logical plan, then it generates the optimized plan, and there are the series of incremental execution plans. So these are like a high level steps of our streaming query. But now let's get to the process flow and see how it happens in detail one by one. So the data frame operations are converted into the logical plan, which is like a representation of computation that Spark SQL uses for planning out a query. So as given in this figure, this is like our complete process flow. So the first step will be like Spark SQL will analyze and optimizes our logical plan for ensuring that it can be executed incrementally and efficiently on the streaming data. Streaming data is nothing but you will receive from any socket connection as we have seen in the previous lecture, or else it can come through Kafka or any other sensor data, or you can deploy it on the cloud also. So that will be the first thing. Then again Spark SQL will start a background thread which continuously execute the loop, and in loop there are sequence of steps. So the first step would be based on whatever you have given like a trigger interval, the thread will check the streaming sources for availability of a new data. So as we have seen in our word count example, it listens to that port on port 9999 and see if we publish new data to it. So until and unless we push the new data, it was not calculating the count of those data. Then the next one will be once the data is available, this new data is executed by running a micro batch. So micro batch is nothing but a chunks of data which then executed for whatever the steps or operations, or we can say transformations we are doing on that data. So from the optimized logical plan, the optimized Spark execution is generated that reads the new data from source, then also it incrementally computes that data and writes the output to the sink. So in our example, we have got the sink to console. So we have printed all the data to console, but you can use several sinks such as HDFS or any other file system. And it also does that by according to the configuration output mode. So output mode we have seen like update, append, complete. So these were modes that we have seen in the previous lecture. So the last step would be like for every micro batches, the information like the exact range of data process, then any associated states are saved in the checkpoint location. So checkpoint location is also a very important parameter that we pass. So it is like a directory where all this information will be saved in case of failure recovery, so that our job could continue from where it was failed in the earlier execution. That is very important to maintain the accuracy of your execution. These were the steps which were involved when you submit your streaming job. So this loop will continue until the query is terminated. So once you terminate the query, which means that the streaming query is stopped and it will no longer listens to the new incoming data and all the computation that we discuss. And also there could be some reasons of end of that loop, which is nothing but a failure which has occurred in the query. So either it could be a processing error or the failure in the cluster. It also occurred if the query is explicitly stopped using the stop function of the streaming query. It also does that if we trigger like set it to once, so then the query will stop on its own after executing a single micro batch containing all the available data. So this was all about how our job gets executed on the Spark cluster. So it was pretty simple. So as you can see in this figure, the user code, which was nothing but our word count code which we executed in the last lecture, it got converted into a logical plan. So this logical plan is then further optimized, and then there are series of incremental execution jobs which are submitted on the Spark cluster on parallel manner, and it processes the micro batches of the data. And to ensure the failure recovery, we are having a checkpoint directory which stores all the state and the data which is executed in that directory and all this information, so that once we kick off our job again after termination, then it will pick up from where it was failed in the earlier execution. That was pretty simple, right? So let's talk about this failure recovery point in detail to understand all about mechanism. So this recovering from failure with exactly once guarantees. This is a pretty important topic that we need to cover now. So once your job is terminated and you have to restart the query in completely new process, then you have to create a new Spark session. You also have to redefine all the data frames and start the streaming query on the final result using that same checkpoint location. It is very important. So for our word count example that we have seen in the earlier lecture, we can simply re-execute the entire code, and from the definition to the Spark in first line to the final start function in the last line. So the whole code will again kick off the job from when it's failed, because we already provided the checkpoint directory in our code. So this checkpoint location must be same across the restart. You cannot change that checkpoint location in your every execution. That should remain the same, because that only has all the information needed for failure recovery and to maintain the exactly once guarantee. So this directory will also contain like a unique identity of streaming query, and it determines the life cycle of the query. So if the checkpoint directory is deleted or the same query started with different checkpoint directory, it is like starting a new query from scratch. It will not maintain the history of your execution. So specifically the checkpoint have the record level information to track the data range the last incomplete micro batch was processing. So this data range will be important for our next execution. The restarted query will use this information to start processing records, which will be like precisely after last successful micro batch. So if the previous query has planned a micro batch but had terminated before the completion, then the restarted query will reprocess the same range of data before processing the new data. It is very important to maintain the accuracy in your execution and the final results. So structured streaming can also ensure the end-to-end exactly once guarantees. What it means is the output is as if each input record was processed exactly once. That is the reason we need failure recovery in your application. So this could be achieved when some of the conditions are satisfied. That we need to see now. So as you can see here, these are some of the conditions which should be satisfied to maintain these exactly once guarantees in failure recovery. The first one is replayable streaming sources. It is very important. So the data range of last incomplete micro batches can be reread from the source. This is very important. So if you are using any sync that is not compatible replayable data, then you will miss out the earlier execution and your restarted query will act as a new one. The next one is deterministic computation. So all the data transformation which should be deterministically produce the same result when given the same input data. It is very important for accuracy of your final results. And for the next one, like the sync should identify the re-executed micro batches, and it should ignore the duplicate writes that could cause by the restart. So let's say for your last executed query, if the last micro batch does not compute it successfully, then this should be recomputed in the restarted streaming query. Otherwise you lose the data and the final results will be inaccurate. So this first replayable thing is also very important, because in our last example where we have counted the word coming from the socket connection, that doesn't provided the exactly once guarantees, because that socket source is not replayable and the console sync is not supported to re-execute the micro batches. The next one is data frame transformation. So we can make like a minor modification to the transformation between the restart. It is acceptable as well. The next one is like the source and sync option. So whether like a read stream or the write stream option can be changed between the restart, and it totally depends on the semantics of the specific source or the sync. So for example, you should not change the host and the port option for the socket connection. So as we have given like the port number 9999, you shouldn't change in the further executions. The next one is processing details. So as discussed earlier, this checkpoint location should not be changed between the restart. However, other details like the trigger interval can be changed without breaking the fault tolerance guarantee. So these were some of the cases where the failure recovery is truly possible. It is not supported with every source like socket connection, but in production environment you will be having the sources as Apache Kafka, which ensures the failure recovery of your system. So that we are going to see in our upcoming lectures, the different sources and sink which is supported by Apache's structured streaming. So I hope you like this lecture, and if you have any difficulties, let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you like this lecture, so please subscribe to our channel and also ring the notification bell to get the latest updates. And don't forget to follow us on our social media, which I have given in the description below. Thanks for watching.